What's going on, guys? My name is Triforce Diction. Welcome back to another COD mode video. So today we are going to be talking about a specific legendary skin for a certain sniper that was 3.5 years in the making, given the fact that we have never received a legendary for this said sniper, which is the XPR 50. So the legendary, or I guess the name of the legendary that we are going to be discussing is, of course, the XPR 50 Broken Will. So this is the very first legendary skin to ever come out for the XPR. So yes, it took 3.5 years, maybe even more, for a legendary skin of this weapon to finally come out. This was something that I did not really think was ever going to come out. I mean, I know there are some pretty decent skins, or at least epic skins, for the XPR that were alright. We had the Arachnophobia. We also had the Dragon's Brood for one of the first lucky boxes in the game. But a legendary skin for the XPR was something that I started to believe that would never happen, even after all the buffs that it received, making the stopping power mag a lot more powerful, and just the overall gun a lot more faster than all the snipers like in the game. It was just amazing to me that there was never a legendary even after all that. But after 3.5 years and more, we finally have our hands on the XPR Broken Will. So, you know, first glance at the appearance of the weapon, I mean, let's be honest. I mean, I'm going to keep it 100%. It's not really the best legendary sniper out there. If anything, I would say, I mean, it's not the worst either. It's like somewhere in between, but, you know, it's a pretty mid-legendary skin for a gun that we've waited for a long time to have a legendary. If anything, I feel like a lot of people are going to overlook the fact that it just doesn't really look that great just because of the fact that hey, we finally got one. So the gun basically takes, I guess, the form of a makeshift crossbow with a scope. It's basically an oversized crossbow. That's basically the whole entire theme of this gun skin, even though like the name itself doesn't really have anything to do with it being, you know, archery based, but yeah, this is a theme I wasn't really expecting for the Broken Will. I thought it was going to be more like, you know, a darker type of theme. I mean, given like what we have for this season so far, it's been kind of more of a dark theme. But yeah, it's kind of like off topic when it comes to like the entire season. And that's something I could probably say about like a lot of legendaries that get released within a certain season. They're not always going to fit the theme. I mean, if you guys remember the deep dive season with where like the AMAX came out, we saw the Red Death that had nothing to do with water, or even then like the Rytech like AMR, the mythic skin could have come out that season. But it didn't, even though it was like purely just like underwater thing. That would have been perfect. But yeah, I mean, they still had the Locust Neptune, but still, I mean, it would have been great to have the Rytech during that time. So now let's discuss the scope. So the scope overall isn't really anything to go crazy for. It's just a simple scope. I mean, I don't really think it makes that much of an impact. I mean, the normal XPR scope is alright, and if you have like any of the other skins, like it's not really going to change too much on how it performs. As for the firing sound as well, it's nothing really too crazy. It kind of sounds like I guess more of a magical arrow being launched from the crossbow itself. But more or less, it's not really anything noticeable. Like I said, this legendary skin overall isn't really the greatest in the world. Even when it comes to its overall outer effects, there's nothing really to discuss, mainly just the fact that there's only like that little energy thing coming out of the bow, and that's basically it. Like I said, very minimal effort on the legendary overall. If anything, it's more of a glorified epic. The kill effect though is, I mean, it's not really the greatest in the world, but it does have a lot of similar traits to the Asir AK-117 skin that also had arrows pouring down on the enemy once you killed them. The only difference here is that the arrows are a lot bigger with the XPR. But yeah, now talking about just the physical design overall, like I said, I mean, I've already talked about how it looks like a crossbow. I'm talking about like the colors and everything. So overall, like the colors are all okay. They're not the worst. I mean, I do love the gold parts. I mean, any legendary that has gold parts, I'm kind of like a sucker for. The purple, I mean, it's okay. There are animations within those blue etchings, barely noticeable, only if you're like really idle. But again, I mean, it's, you know, again, nothing really crazy. So overall, even though it's the first legendary XPR, you would think that they probably would have gone all out, especially for like all the people that were waiting for a legendary to come out. But no, they did very minimal effort, but I don't really think a lot of people are going to care about that when they buy it. I think people are just gonna be happy that it's finally out. I think that's basically the main reason why people are gonna get this anyways. But if you think about it this way, I mean, they're probably never gonna have another XPR legendary skin, and when it comes to sniper legendaries, they are pretty stubborn unless it's maybe the DOQ or the Locust. But when it comes to all the other snipers, there's barely any extra ones that they'll make. If anything, sniper legendaries are probably a little more rare than what you get with like assault rifles or SMGs. I mean, there's a lot of SMGs and assault rifles that have maybe 4 or 5 legendary skins, but with snipers it's a lot more reduced. And you could probably argue that it's mainly like that because of the fact that there's a smaller, the sniper category is obviously a lot smaller than the assault rifle category. But yeah, I mean, they don't really put too much effort into legendary snipers. There's only a few exceptions, but yeah, anyways, is it worth picking up? I mean, yes. I mean, if you are really a huge fan of it, but if not, it's whatever. For me, I just get it for the collection. But anyways, hope you guys enjoy. Make sure you leave a like, make sure to subscribe for some more COD mode content. I'll see you guys next time.